Hey everyone, I'm Stephanie Edwards. I'm a romantic suspense author based in Knoxville, Tennessee, near the Great Smoky Mountains. And this is my husband, Ron Edwards, here with me tonight, and we're celebrating the launch of my new book, Lowcountry Charm. It's a prequel to my original series, an Olive Palm suspense series, and it takes place in the South Carolina Low Country and follows the story of Nancy Parsons. She is the spunky grandmotherly guide to the paranormal from the Olive Palm suspense series, and a lot of readers really loved her and embraced her because she basically tells how it is and isn't afraid of anything. So I'm looking forward to finding out what readers think about this new book, and we're just going to sit here and talk about it for a few minutes, and please let us know if you have any questions in the comments.
All right. So, Stephanie, what made you decide, Nancy's been in all your books up to now. What made you decide to kind of put her in the spotlight?
So, like I was saying, everyone's really seemed to be drawn to Nancy. She's very sassy, very matter of fact, and she has a way of just making everybody feel charmed and mothered.
Yeah. From a process perspective, so this is your first book that's written in the first person. What made you feel like this was the book to move into that point of view?
So I feel like I know Nancy very well. She's almost part of me in a lot of ways. She's a conglomeration of a lot of women I've met throughout my life, and I really wanted to help the audience connect with her more.
How is this book for somebody? If somebody's never read any of your other books before, how is this book as an entry point for them?
I write all of my books as standalones, but they all complement each other as well. So really, you can pick up any of my books in any order and read them and just pick right up with the story.
What do you think the biggest difference is in this and your other books?
I think this is different because Nancy is a little bit older, so she has more life experience than my other characters. And I think that's really important because a lot of readers are of every age. So we have younger readers who might connect with the younger characters, but there are a lot of women and men who are middle aged and they want to see themselves in stories that they read too.
With all of your books, you've had a lot of different locations, a lot of different time settings. Talk a little bit about the setting for this book.
So this book is set in 1994, and the reason for that is we need to go back and tell Nancy's whole story, how she came to have her powers to where she can actually communicate with the dead and also see them.
What's something that might surprise your readers? If they've read all your other material, they're picking up this book, what's the thing that's going to surprise them the most?
I think they'll just be surprised to hear Nancy's inner thoughts and that she's not as confident as she really comes off in the other stories. I think when we're growing up, especially like when you're a kid, a teenager, a young adult, you see the older people in your life as being that they know everything. Like we think when we're younger, we think that the adults in our lives know everything. They have all the answers, and maybe we don't agree with them. But when push comes to shove, we go to certain people to get those answers. And so I think it's really important that Nancy doesn't always have the answer. She is a flawed person. She's real.
All right.
Thanks everyone for stopping by, and I hope you'll chat with us and of course pick up a copy of Lowcountry Charm. It's available now on Amazon and you can order it from any of your favorite book retailers. So thank you so much for all of your time and your support. Look forward to talking to you again. I thought I'd close this out with just a short little excerpt from the book. And to set up the scene a little bit, Nancy and Julia Caroline, her best friend, are in Nancy's grandson's room. And this particular grandson, she has 5, who she's caring for right now. She has her hands full, to say the very least. Anyway, the child she's caring for has a charm bracelet wrapped around his leg, and they're trying to figure out where it came from. And Nancy's realizing it's an heirloom bracelet that was passed down from her mother, but she hasn't seen it in decades. So she's just trying to figure out why this is happening now, where it came from, and just what's going on. Where did the bracelet come from? How did the darn thing wrap itself around my darling little babe's ankle? A cool burst of air grazes the back of my neck, and I shimmy to shake it off. Did the person or being who moved the action figure do this too? The baby's coos and excited movements tell me no one hurt him. I let out a sigh of relief. But why would anyone want to strap a bracelet around the child's leg? I undo the toggle clasp and remove the greenish silver links, while eyes with Julia Caroline and point at the charm. Have you ever seen one of these? She nods. My grandmother had one and used it regularly to call up our deceased family members. How did this one end up here and on the baby's ankle of all places? I have no idea. I haven't seen it since my mother lived over by Breach Inlet. Poor Mama. She lived her 1-bedroom beach cottage she bought with her own money after Daddy died. It wasn't much, but it was hers. Sadly, she only lived there for a couple of years before she passed. I sold the place to a sweet young couple a year after Mama died. The only things I kept were the family Bible and my parents' wedding bands. I don't remember seeing the bracelet when I cleaned the house. Julia Caroline winced. Where has it been hiding the past 10 years? I shrugged. I have no clue, but I've got to see what's inside the charm. Let's open it. Are you sure that's a good idea? What if there's a message to your mother in there? Or even worse, what if there's one for you? I wrinkle my nose. Julia Caroline is the voice of reason in our friendship. I don't want to overthink the situation, or I'll chicken out. I don't have your decades of paranormal experience to help guide my decision making. I'm just having to trust my gut and hope it's right. I keep going and twist the latch on the intricately engraved silver box, expecting something sinister to pop out. I hold the box away from us and take a deep breath. So I hope that piqued your interest. And of course, I'd love to talk to you about it more. So ask any questions you may have. And I look forward to hearing what you think about the novel. Thanks again for stopping by. I hope you have a great evening.